Listen up. What you're about to hear will shatter every comfortable lie you've been telling yourself about your relationship. Most men walk through life completely blind to the psychological triggers that drive women to cheat. They miss every warning sign, ignore every red flag, and then act shocked when they find another man's number in her phone. Today, I'm going to expose the 4 brutal psychological triggers that push women into the arms of other men. This isn't theory. This isn't feel-good relationship advice. This is cold, hard psychology backed by decades of research and thousands of real cases. If you can't handle the truth, click away now. But if you want to protect what you've built, keep listening. Here's what most men don't understand. Women don't wake up one morning and decide to cheat. It's a process, a psychological journey that unfolds over months, sometimes years. By the time she's physically with another man, she's already emotionally divorced you. She's already justified it in her mind. She's already moved on. The 4 triggers I'm about to reveal are happening in relationships right now. Maybe even yours. Miss these signs, and you'll join the millions of men who never saw it coming. Men who thought everything was fine until they found the hotel receipts. Men who believed her when she said she was working late. So here's the question that should terrify you. Which of these 4 triggers is already active in your relationship? Trigger 1. The starvation effect. Women crave variety, not just sexually, but emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. When you stop providing that variety, when you become predictable and boring, you create a psychological void, and nature abhors a vacuum. Someone else will fill it. Here's the brutal truth most men can't accept. The woman who married you for your stability will eventually resent that same stability if it turns into stagnation. She doesn't want the same conversation every night. She doesn't want the same routine every weekend. She doesn't want to feel like she's living with a roommate who occasionally touches her. This starvation happens on multiple levels. Physical starvation is obvious. When you stop making her feel desired, when you stop pursuing her like you did in the beginning, when you treat sex like a chore or an obligation. But emotional starvation is deadlier. When you stop asking about her dreams, when you stop challenging her intellectually, when you stop making her laugh until her stomach hurts. Watch for these warning signs. She starts mentioning other men more frequently. Suddenly, her coworker David is hilarious. Her trainer Marcus really understands her goals. Her old college friend who reached out on social media is so interesting to talk to. These aren't innocent observations. These are comparisons, and you're losing. She starts changing her appearance without involving you. New clothes you've never seen, a hairstyle she didn't discuss, a gym membership that seems unusually important. She's not doing this for you anymore. She's doing it for the possibility of someone else. Her phone becomes Fort Knox, face down on tables, taken into the bathroom, charging in different rooms. The woman who used to show you funny memes now guards her screen like state secrets. This isn't paranoia. This is preparation. Here's what's happening psychologically. Her brain is seeking novelty, excitement, the rush of new connection. If you're not providing it, someone else will. And when that someone appears, offering conversations that stimulate her mind and attention, that makes her feel alive again, your predictable presence becomes background noise. The most dangerous part? She'll convince herself she deserves this excitement, that you've neglected her emotional needs, that this new connection is just friendship until it isn't. Don't fool yourself thinking this only happens to bad marriages. Some of the strongest relationships collapse because the man got comfortable and stopped being the man she fell for. The man who pursued her relentlessly, who surprised her, who made her feel like the center of his universe. Trigger 2. The death of respect. When a woman loses respect for you, she doesn't just fall out of love, she falls out of loyalty. And loyalty is the only thing standing between your relationship and another man's bed. Respect dies slowly, then all at once. It starts with small moments of disappointment. You promise to fix something and don't. You back down from confrontation when she needs you to stand firm. You let other people disrespect her without consequence. Each incident chips away at the foundation until there's nothing left but contempt. Here's the psychology behind this trigger. Women are biologically programmed to seek strong partners. Not physically strong necessarily, but mentally and emotionally strong. Partners who can handle pressure, make difficult decisions, and protect what matters. When you consistently fail these tests, her subconscious starts looking for alternatives. The signs are unmistakable if you're paying attention. She stops asking your opinion on important matters. She makes major decisions without consulting you. She handles problems herself instead of coming to you first. She's not being independent. She's being self-sufficient because she no longer sees you as capable. She starts correcting you in public. Small things at first, your facts, your stories, your opinions, then bigger things. Your decisions, your parenting, your judgment. She's not trying to embarrass you. She's trying to establish that she's the competent one in the relationship, the leader, the adult. Watch how she introduces you to new people. Does she light up talking about your accomplishments? Or does she give bare minimum details while highlighting her own achievements? A woman who respects her man brags about him. A woman who's lost respect treats him like an accessory she's stuck with. The final stage is when she starts seeking male validation elsewhere. Not necessarily romantic validation, but competence validation. She asks other men for advice on things she used to discuss with you. She compliments other men's strength, intelligence, or capability in your presence. She's not trying to make you jealous. She's genuinely more impressed by them than by you. Once respect dies, love follows. You might think she still loves you because she says the words, but love without respect is just habit, comfort, convenience. It's not enough to keep her faithful when someone she actually respects shows interest. The cruelest part? She'll often cheat with someone she considers your superior, stronger, more successful, more decisive. Someone who demonstrates the qualities she wished you possessed. It's not random. It's psychological completion. Trigger 3. The safety net strategy. Fear drives more infidelity than passion. When women sense relationship instability, many don't fight harder to save it. They quietly secure alternatives. They build safety nets. They prepare exit strategies. And sometimes those preparations become self-fulfilling prophecies. This trigger activates when women lose confidence in the relationship's future. Maybe you've been fighting more. Maybe money is tight and you're stressed. Maybe you've been distant or checked out. Instead of addressing these issues head-on, she starts hedging her bets. The psychology here is pure survival instinct. Women historically needed male protection and provision. Even in modern times, that need for security runs deep. When you seem unreliable or when the relationship feels unstable, her subconscious starts scanning for backup options. Here's how it manifests. She reconnects with old flames on social media. Just checking in, she says, catching up. But what she's really doing is reactivating dormant connections, testing the waters, keeping doors open. She becomes unusually friendly with male colleagues, neighbors, or acquaintances. Suddenly, she's having deep conversations with the guy from her yoga class. The single dad at her kid's school is surprisingly easy to talk to. Her divorced neighbor, who's been going through such a hard time, needs someone to listen. These aren't affairs yet. They're insurance policies, emotional connections that could become something more if your relationship implodes. She's not planning to cheat. She's planning to not be alone. The warning signs are subtle but deadly. She starts compartmentalizing her life. Work friends you never meet. Activities you're not invited to. Conversations that stop when you enter the room. She's building a world that doesn't include you, just in case she needs to escape into it. Her investment in your relationship decreases, while her investment in herself increases. She focuses on her career, her friendships, her independence. She stops talking about future plans that involve you. The house you'll buy together, the trips you'll take, the retirement you'll share. Her future becomes singular, not plural. The most dangerous version of this trigger happens during major life transitions. Job changes, moves, deaths in the family, health scares. These events naturally create uncertainty. If you handle them poorly, if you seem overwhelmed or incapable, she starts looking for someone who feels more stable. And here's the twisted part. The very act of building these safety nets often sabotages the relationship she's trying to protect. The emotional energy she invests in other connections gets withdrawn from you. The time she spends nurturing backup plans is time not spent fixing your problems. She becomes so focused on preparing for failure that she stops fighting for success. When the actual affair happens, it's almost anticlimactic. The emotional groundwork was laid months earlier. The psychological justification was already complete. She didn't betray you in a moment of weakness. She betrayed you after careful preparation. Trigger 4. The poison of unresolved resentment. The deadliest trigger isn't sudden passion or opportunity. It's the slow accumulation of unresolved resentment. Every dismissed feeling, every ignored conflict, every small betrayal of trust builds into a mountain of justified anger. And when that mountain reaches critical mass, she'll use it to rationalize anything. Women remember everything. Not just the big fights, but the small slights. The time you promised to be home for dinner and showed up 3 hours late without calling. The birthday you forgot. The promotion celebration you missed because of work. The conversation where you minimized her feelings or told her she was overreacting. Each incident gets filed away in her psychological database. She might not mention it again, but it's there. Building interest, accumulating power, waiting for the right moment to justify the unthinkable. Here's the psychological mechanism. Humans need their actions to align with their self-image. Women generally see themselves as loyal, moral, committed partners. To cheat, they need to reconcile that action with their identity. Accumulated resentment provides that reconciliation. She's not being unfaithful. She's finally putting herself first after years of being taken for granted. The warning sign starts small. She stops fighting about things that used to bother her. This seems like progress, but it's actually surrender. She's not letting things go. She's giving up on you caring enough to change. The complaints don't disappear. They go underground, where they ferment into something toxic. She starts keeping score differently. Every favor she does for you gets noted. Every sacrifice gets tallied. Every compromise gets remembered. But your contributions start getting minimized or forgotten entirely. She's building a case against you, even if she doesn't realize it yet. Her language changes subtly. She stops saying we and starts saying I. She stops asking for your help and starts handling things herself. She stops sharing good news with you first. She's psychologically divorcing you while you're still living together. The most dangerous phase is when she starts telling other people about your relationship problems, not seeking advice, but seeking validation for her resentment. Her friends hear about every way you've disappointed her. Her family gets detailed reports of your failures. She's building a support network for her eventual betrayal. When someone new shows interest in her, she doesn't immediately shut it down like she used to. Instead, she thinks about all the ways this person might be different, better, more appreciative, more attentive. The comparison isn't fair because it's built on fantasy, but resentment doesn't care about fairness. The affair, when it happens, feels like justice to her. You had years to treat her better. You had countless opportunities to address her concerns. You chose to ignore, dismiss, and minimize instead. So now she's choosing someone who actually sees her value. This is why the betrayed partner's shock is so complete. They think things were fine because the fighting stopped. They didn't realize the fighting stopped because she gave up on them. They mistake her emotional withdrawal for peace instead of recognizing it as preparation for war. The point of no return. Here's what you need to understand. These triggers don't happen in isolation. They feed each other. Boredom leads to loss of respect. Fear creates resentment. Resentment justifies seeking variety. It's a psychological death spiral that accelerates once it starts. By the time you notice obvious signs of cheating, you're not at the beginning of the process. You're at the end. The emotional affair has been going on for months. The justifications have been built. The exit strategy has been planned. You're not fighting for her attention anymore. You're fighting for scraps of a woman who's already moved on mentally and emotionally. The brutal truth. Most men never recover from this position. They try harder, but harder isn't better when you're doing the wrong things. They become more attentive, but attention without respect is just desperation. They promise to change, but promises from a man she no longer trusts are worthless. Your only defense prevention is your only real option. You can't fix what you don't see coming. You can't negotiate with a woman who's already emotionally checked out. You can't logic your way back into her heart when she's already given it to someone else. Stay dangerous. Not violent, but unpredictable. Keep growing, learning, challenging yourself. The man she married should be the worst version of who you become, not the best. Keep pursuing her like you're still trying to win her because you are. Every single day. Demand respect and give respect. Don't negotiate on your boundaries. Don't accept disrespect in the name of keeping peace. Peace without respect is just delayed conflict. Handle your business. Be the man she can depend on when everything else falls apart. Address problems immediately. Don't let resentment build. Don't dismiss her concerns. Don't let small issues become relationship cancer. Fight for your relationship while it's worth fighting for, not when it's already over. And watch for the signs. All of them. Her phone habits, her investment in the relationship, her respect for your decisions, her resentment about past issues. These aren't random behaviors. They're psychological indicators of where her mind is going. The final warning. These 4 triggers are active in relationships right now. Maybe yours. The woman sleeping next to you tonight might be emotionally investing in someone else tomorrow. The woman who says she loves you might be comparing you to other men and finding you lacking. The woman who seems fine might be building resentment that will eventually justify her betrayal. Ignore this at your own risk. Deny it at your own peril. The statistics are clear. The psychology is sound. The patterns are predictable. The only question is whether you'll see it coming or be another shocked husband wondering how he missed all the signs. Don't be that man. Don't be the guy who thought everything was fine until it wasn't. Don't be the victim of your own willful blindness. Your relationship isn't special. Your woman isn't different. The same psychological triggers that destroy other relationships can destroy yours. The choice is yours. Stay aware or stay vulnerable. Lead or be led by the nose toward inevitable betrayal. Fight for what you've built or lose it to someone who's willing to fight harder. If this opened your eyes, share it. Other men need to hear this truth. Subscribe for more brutal reality about relationships and psychology, because the comfortable lies aren't protecting you. Only the uncomfortable truth can do that. Your relationship's survival depends on your willingness to face these harsh realities. The clock is ticking. The triggers are real. And your woman is watching to see what kind of man you really are. Don't give her a reason to look elsewhere.